Well, hello, my honor students. I'm going to make 3 videos, and I know and apologize I'm late, but this has been a goofy Easter vacation so far, but hey, we'll get her done. So, what they did is they took an angle, put the vertex on the origin, and the initial side on the x-axis. It always stays there, never moves. The initial side. Then they took another side of the angle and put it out, and it can be anywhere. It's called the terminal side. Now we're going to pick a point, and we're going to put the terminal side through it. And that point's going to be defined as x, y. Well, that makes sense. It's just a general point. Then we're going to drop a perpendicular. That means a right angle. Forms a right angle. Then we're going to use this angle every time. I'm going to call it alpha. So this side would have distance x, because that's how far you go to the right to get to this point. This is y. This they call r, and using the quadratic formula, x squared plus y squared, I said quadratic formula, I meant Pythagorean theorem. Sorry about that. Pythagoras says that this squared plus this squared has to equal this squared. So if I take the square root of this, r is the square root of x squared plus y squared. So if I use my opposites, adjacents, and hypotenuses, if I use this angle, let's see, cosine would be adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine the angle is x over r. The reciprocal of cosine is secant, so the secant of that angle is r over x. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is y over r. So cosecant would be r over x. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. That'd be y over x. So cotangent would be x over y. Now, since cosine and sine are over r, r being the biggest side, the hypotenuse, that means cosine and sine cannot be bigger than 1. And we're going to see it cannot be smaller than -1. So cosine and sine have to be between -1 and 1. Now that means the reciprocals, secant and cosecant, have to be bigger than 1 and smaller than -1 because they're the reciprocals. Now, all the trig functions are positive in the first quadrant. That is because x and y are both positive. R is always positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, but y is positive. So any function that has y and r, because r is always positive, that would have to be positive. In this case, that's sine and cosecant. In the third quadrant, x is negative, y is negative. So the only function that can be positive is if they both have x and y, because two negatives make a positive when multiplying or dividing. And that would be tangent, or its reciprocal cotangent. And then in this quadrant, x is positive, but y is negative. So the trig function that would be positive would be the one with x and r, because y is negative. So therefore, that would be cosine and secant. So let's say I have a point. Let's say I have negative 5, 7. How can I find the trig functions? Well, negative 5, 7, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be right here. So we'd have that. Here's, oops, that is really messed that up. There's our alpha. So first we'd find r. So r is the square root of x squared, which would be 25, plus 49, which is the square root of 74. So sine is y over r, y 7, so it'd be 7 over the square root of 74. So therefore, cosecant, the reciprocal, would be square root of 74 over 7. Now, if you have a teacher in the future that says you got to rationalize the denominator, rationalize it. Don't argue. So then we have cosine is x over r, so negative 5 over square root of 74. So secant would be negative square root of 74 over 5. Tangent is y over x, so it'd be 7 over negative 5. So that means cotangent would be negative 5 over 7. Now, if you have trouble remembering which trig functions are positive and which quadrants, they have a little phrase: all students take classes. And that means all of them are positive in the first. Ask for students is sine and cosecant. Take is tangent and its reciprocal cotangent. And class is the first letter is C, so that'd be cosine. So you need to memorize all this information. Oh no! Part 2 is coming up.